Sow your way to success.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining me on my channel today. I am excited to have you because today I'm doing a video that's a little bit different from the usual tutorials that I normally do. And today, as you can tell by the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about the parable of the sower and how you can apply this parable to your business. Now, I've heard the parable of the sower a million times. We've always heard it as it pertains to soul winning and the word of God. I've never heard it applied to my business, and I was inspired to do this video because I was listening to an audio tape by Jim Rohn. I don't know if you know who Jim Rohn is, but he's a master networker, a fabulous entrepreneur. He has so many books and CDs on marketing. I will leave a link in the description box in case you want to check that out. But I was listening to an audio tape of his, and I was just inspired to make this video because I learned so much, and I have been researching and meditating on this for the past week, and I tell you, it's just been great. So basically, I love to share information, so I'm going to share what I've learned from the parable of the sower, little nuggets, and I hope that it will help or bless you. So let's get the video started. If you haven't read the parable of the sower, I'm going to leave the Bible link right now so you can read it, so you can have a background, so you understand what this video is all about. And I'll get started with the things that I learned on how you can use this parable to help grow your business. Okay, so let's go straight into the sowing business, okay? So the first part of the story, we're introduced to the sower, and the sower, it tells us that the sower has seed in his hands and he goes out to sow. So first of all, I learned two things straight away. I learned that first of all, the sower is ambitious. He wants to double his seed. He's not content with leaving his seed as it is. He wants to reap a bountiful harvest. So that's the first thing that I've learned. The sower is ambitious. Secondly, I've learned that the sower has seed in his hands. Now, putting myself in the place of the sower, I can look at it this way. I have a certain level of ambition. I want to have a good career. I want to own a business or grow my business. And at the same time, I've got seed in my hands. Now, seed could be, it could be your money that you're willing to invest. It could be your time, maybe time that you've put into your career that you're building. Your seed can also be an idea that you have nurtured, that you're introducing into the marketplace. So first things first, you have a seed and you're ambitious. So now we come to the beginning part of the story. So the sower goes out to sow, and the first time he sows his seed, he scatters it by the wayside, and the birds come down and they eat it up. Now, that happens to a lot of us. It certainly happened to me. And most times as entrepreneurs, when you're starting out in a business, in your career, you will definitely most times make some wrong choices, because when you're starting out, you just don't know. You don't know where to put your seed. You're guessing, and you're guessing not based out of experience. You're guessing based on perhaps knowledge, but it's not experiential knowledge. So you scatter your seeds about, and you're hoping that some of it will grow and it will reap a harvest. And what happens is most times you end up investing in the wrong people. Okay, the birds will come and eat it up. So you might invest in the wrong people, you might invest in the wrong equipment, you might invest in the wrong technology, different things. And what usually happens is people will take advantage of you because they know they don't know, and the birds will just come down and eat it all up, and before you know what's happening, your seed is gone. You're left with nothing. But here we come to a very profound part of the story. What does the sower do? The sower keeps on sowing. So the sower doesn't go chasing after birds that have flown away. He doesn't blame people. He just says, I want to have a bountiful harvest, so he tries again. So we come to the second part of the story. The sower goes out to sow again, and this time around he sows his seeds, and his seeds fall on stony ground. Now, this is a bit better than the first time because the seeds actually start sprouting, and he begins to see, a little bit of growth. But what happens is, because it's fallen on stony ground, the seeds don't have roots in the ground, and the sun comes up and scorches the plants and they die. They just wither away. Now this happens, again, putting yourself in the place of the sower. This also happens to a lot of entrepreneurs, happens to a lot of business people. It has happened to me as well, and I'm only beginning to understand it now. Now, when you say you put your seed on stony ground. Stony ground could be anything. It could be that you have a good idea, maybe you have a sizable amount to invest, but perhaps you haven't built the requisite skills that will help you build that business. So for instance, maybe you haven't gotten the right financial skills, maybe you haven't got the right degrees that you need to advance in your career, maybe you haven't built the right networking skills, and these things begin to show in the day-to-day running of your business or in your career. So what happens is when there's a little shaking, and it doesn't even have to be a very large one, it might just be a little shake, the weather changes, the sun falls, the rain comes, you basically just wither because you haven't built yourself up in the necessary skills that you need to sustain whatever level of growth that you have. And this happens to a whole lot of entrepreneurs. It happens to a whole lot of career people. Again, we come to another part of the story. What does the sower do? The sower keeps on sowing. So the sower goes, okay, try the first time, didn't work, try the second time, did not work, but I still want to reap a bountiful harvest. So what am I going to do? I'm going to sow a third time. Now this time around, the sower goes and he scatters his seed, or he sows his seed again. Now he's gotten a little bit better from his last two attempts, because this time he actually does find good ground, but unfortunately the good ground also has a lot of thorns. So he's sown his seed in this good ground and he's beginning to see some level of reward. The plants are sprouting, they're growing up, but they're also growing up with thorns. Now this is very, very painful. If this has ever happened to you, this is very, very painful, because if we look at the first time he sowed, there wasn't really a lot of time lapse between when he sowed and when he found out that it was wrong. So this was kind of like in the beginning stages. He found out that he sowed wrongly, and he started again. The second time around, a little bit of time, he saw the leaves sprouting up, so maybe he had worked on that project for a couple of months, and unfortunately everything goes south. The third time though, he thinks he's found good ground. The plants begin to grow. He's beginning to see his investment rise. He's beginning to get some feedback. He's beginning to think, wow, this could really work. And then what happens? The thorns come and choke your business. Okay, the thorns come. Now the Bible talks about the thorns as the cares of this world, the cares of life. I like to look at it like this. We all have issues in life that you have to deal with. So for instance, a thorn could be your marital status, it could be your family. So if you're not dealing with those issues, for instance, if you're having trouble in your marriage and you're just building your business, eventually one's going to have to give. So it could be anything. Thorns can happen to anyone. We don't have control over thorns. Thorns could be a recession. Thorns could be a financial problem. Thorns could be a family issue. Thorns could be anything. But the point is, you haven't really built yourself up to be able to accommodate these issues and to be able to rise above these issues. So when the thorns come, the thorns just choke your business. The thorns choke you. The thorns get you. And all of a sudden, you just find yourself losing your mind, losing your money, losing your family, losing everything, and before you know it, you're falling. Like you were here and you're back to square one. So the thorns, you got to deal with the thorns if you want to have like a successful business. You don't wait for the thorns to grow, because those thorns are gonna, So the thorns came in and they choked his plants, and at the end of the day, the sower is left with nothing. So what does the sower do? The sower sows again, and now the sower has had experience. The sower understands. Finally the sower finds good ground, and he sows his seeds and he reaps a bountiful harvest. Now this is basically life 101. If you keep doing something long enough, eventually you're going to find good ground. Because he kept the sight, he kept the end goal in sight. He didn't go chasing after birds. He focused, and eventually he found good ground and he reaped a bountiful harvest. Now though, there's something profound that happens at the end of this parable. When Jesus was talking about how the sower finally found good ground and he reaped a harvest, he said this thing that sounded really strange, and he said, and the sower reaped a harvest, some in 30, some in 60, and some in 100-fold. Now, I didn't understand it at all. I was like, why? Why is there this disparity in terms of, what the sower sowed and what he's reaping? Well, I'm going to talk about that in my next video, because I'm doing this in 2 parts, like I said. So if you want to find out, what I think that was talking about, then watch the next video. I'll also be talking about, life lessons that we can draw from this and how you can apply that into your business. I've just tried to give like a background story to this so you can understand. But the next video, I'm going to go more in depth, and I'm going to like point out the lessons and how you can apply this to your daily business. So thanks for joining me today. Do check out the second part of this video. Like I said, I'm leaving links to Jim Rohn and links to some of the things that I have read, also links to my YouTube and my social media. So do follow me, do subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys in part 2 of this video.